Good evening, everyone. I'm very sorry for the network glitch, which was why we couldn't start as scheduled. Apologies to everyone. Yeah, I don't know. My YouTube channel is giving me some kind of issues for now. So this is why I'm giving us this alternative for us to join through my Facebook profile. So I will give like some minutes for other people to join. Oh yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday, and I wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Today is the Christmas Eve. We thank God for this opportunity that He has given to us to be alive today. Uh, the reason why I've decided to do this is, yes, first of all, let me apologize for not being able to come up live on YouTube. My YouTube channel is giving me some kind of headache. That's why I provided the alternative for us to join through Facebook. Once the YouTube is perfected, I will bring us back the information so that we'll be able to join. I'm very sorry, apologies for that. So this evening, I've decided to, take us through some kind of information that we need to get started with. I've been inundated with a lot of questions from different people asking me, "Oh, I want to study. I want to progress my study. I want to, do more. I want to do my masters. I want to do, an undergraduate. I want to at least proceed in my academics." And so many people are even, considering the option of doing this outside the shores of Nigeria. So I got a message from someone during the week who told me, "Oh, Prof, please, I don't even know how to go about this. I don't know how to get started. I'm having this challenge." So this was why I decided to put this information session together so that it will help us to be able to even know, where to start from, and what are the things that we require for us to be able to, uh, you know, get started and move on. It's been a kind of challenge, for some people over time, and this is why I want us to go through this session together. And at the end of this session, we would be able to know where to start from and how to start. Yeah, it is good for us to add value to ourselves, most especially looking at the world we have today, looking at the current situation of things globally, most especially when you look at the third world country in which Nigeria is one of them. It is very, very, it becomes imperative that we keep adding values to ourselves. And it is when you add value to yourself that you'll be able to, get something much more meaningful doing for yourself. And who knows, at the end of the day, it may help you to, find yourself outside Nigeria in a much more advanced country where you will be able to make a better living, where you'll be able to get something better doing for yourself. And also, as you are doing this, it's not only helping yourself, it's also, rubbing off upon your family, upon, everyone around you. But the best thing we can do for ourselves is just to add value, to get the right type of skills, the right type of certificates that will be able to propel us to the next stage in our life. So the first thing I'll mention is for us to say, oh, I want to add value to myself, I want to proceed in my education. You have to, first of all, measure where you are currently. Where are you now? Some people they have OND, good. Some people have HND. Some people have just the undergraduate. Some people just they don't even have any of those. They only have what we call the just skills. Some people are good in tailoring. Some people are very very skillful in bricklaying. Whatever skill you have, the most important thing is for us to be determined that yes, I'm ready to go on this course, and I'm ready to uh, do something much more meaningful for myself. And you just discover that the sky will be your limit. So uh, this evening I'm going to talk more about people who are actually in the academic lines, people who want to add to their certificates, people who maybe have had OND, HND, or BSc, or even a master's degree, and they want to do much more. You want to add more certificate, and some people even think of, oh, I don't want to do my master's in Nigeria. I don't want to do my undergraduate in Nigeria. I want to travel abroad. I want to go to countries, like the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand to uh, do this. And some people are just looking for that international exposure. Some people are looking for much more quality education. Some people are looking for, the kind of environment whereby they will be able to enjoy the real, schooling. I could remember back then while I was going through my undergraduate in Nigeria. Some one of my lecturers said some people are just coming to school. They passed through the school, but the school did not pass through them. When I thought about that, when you pass through school, it means you just, went through the 4 walls of a school, or maybe 4 walls of the university, but unfortunately you did not benefit fully from that education that you have acquired. But it is very very important to note that when you school outside the shores of Nigeria, definitely you are going to enjoy schooling. You are going to know that yes, I am actually going to school. I'm actually benefiting from this kind of instruction that I'm receiving. So that is why I've put this information session together for us to be able to, where how do we even start? So the first thing first, uh, if you are watching from Nigeria, from the experience I've had before, you understand that it is not easy, in Nigeria. It is not easy for us to get some certain documents if you don't have it now. So I will be talking about how to get this done. So one, to start with, you must be sure that you have your certificates right in hand. The first thing first, you must know that if you maybe you want to do masters, you want to do an undergraduate, your certificate, maybe your WAEC certificate. If you want to do masters, your undergraduate certificate, you must have that at hand, which is very important because you want to apply for an advanced study, and they would want to see that, oh, this person has actually done the first part of his or her education. This person has actually finished from secondary school, finished from OND, HND, BSc. So depends on where you want to continue. So for instance, maybe for me, I've finished my BSc and I want to do my master's degree. So it is very very important that I have my bachelor's degree at hand, because it is one of the requirements for you to for me to maybe do a master's degree, for instance. So bear that in mind. please, if you can hear me and if you can see me clearly, please do well to comment on the session board so that I will be able to know. It won't be like I'm just talking to myself. Please, I appreciate that. So that is very important. Having your certificate with you will tell the admission officer of the whatever school you are applying to that, oh, this person is actually ready. This person is actually, has actually graduated from so school with so certificate and stuff like that. So that is very very important. And the second one that I will mention is what we call transcript. Our transcript is very very important. If you some people will be asking what is transcript. It is unfortunate, in even me myself, when I graduated from my undergraduate, I didn't know what transcript was. I didn't know what transcript was. It was after, after my graduation that, I started getting much more exposed, that I became aware of what transcript is all about. Usually, when you finish your education, you don't even need to request for it. The school is expected to give you your transcripts. As they give you your certificate, they give you your transcript the same time. But it's unfortunate in Nigeria, you apply for your certificate. So maybe when you now think, oh, you need your certificate, you need your transcript, that's when you now go back to your school. You have to go through a lot of process, a lot of orders, for you to get your transcript ready. And it is usually very, very tough to get. Usually very, very tough to get. So you have to go to your school, your school, so to say, your university where you have graduated from, request for your transcript. Usually these days, some of the universities, they have an online application. You apply for your transcript through maybe online. You just have to find out from your school to know which system do they use. Is it manual or online? So, and you need to start doing that right now if you really really think you want to proceed with your education. You need your transcript. Don't forget, I'm just giving a general requirement. There are some schools, there are some universities that will still tell you, I need this, I need this, and this. But generally what is applicable to everybody is what I'm trying to highlight for us this evening. So I remember in 2020, there's a friend of mine who actually wanted to travel to Sweden. So wanted to go and study in Sweden, and honestly, she wanted to apply for a scholarship, which she was eligible for. But unfortunately, because she was unable to get her transcript, she couldn't proceed. She couldn't get the process completed. And you will be surprised, this person actually graduated from Unilag. You now be wondering, Unilag, the almighty Unilag, you'll be wondering how come, what happened. They didn't give him, this lady was unable to get her transcript up to now. You can imagine from 2020 to date. So that is why I'm telling you, there is a lot of orders, there is a lot of issues, there is a lot of things you have to go through for you to be able to get your transcript. It is not easy, although not all schools anyway, but it is easy with some schools. But with some other schools, it is very very difficult, very very difficult for you to get it. So if you are thinking of, oh, I'm considering of doing my masters, doing my undergrad, or doing something, going to university, going back to school, you have to start thinking of applying for your transcript. You need your transcript in order to get that done. Yeah, once again, I want to apologize for those of us who are on my WhatsApp group. I've been announcing that the meeting is going to be on my YouTube channel, but unfortunately, the channel, I don't know, maybe the network on YouTube is bad. I don't know. I just couldn't get it sorted. That was why I shared my Facebook page, so that we can, as an alternative for us to get this session done. Once my YouTube channel is back, I will let us know. We'll continue there. So Now, I've mentioned getting our certificate as the first thing, and secondly, I said we need our transcript. We need our transcript in order for us to uh, proceed, in order for us to get on. If you have your master's degree and you want to do your PhD, you are lucky. There are a lot of schools that will give you admission for PhD. In fact, they will even give you funding. Yeah, you don't have to spend anything in terms of paying school fees, but you must be ready to do the work. What I mean by doing the work is putting in a strong application. Putting in a strong application, it will help you a lot in order to get that funding. They will see you as a good candidate, they will see you as a good addition to their team in that department, and I must tell you, it will help you to get funding in order to finance your education. There are some master's program also. If you want to do masters, that will also give you funding for your program. Yes, will also give you funding for your program, and the only thing you just have to do is just to look for your. There are some scholarship opportunities or funding that will even give you funding for air tickets. That's for people who are considering doing going outside Nigeria for their studies. Some schools will even give you flight ticket funding. Some people will even give you stipend for your living expenses. So that is how juicy it could be. Uh, but like I said, you have to be outstanding. You have to be exceptionally uh, good. Good not in terms of having a good grade. Good grade is good, it will help you, but grade is not, because I've seen many people, oh, prof, I graduated with top class. Uh, what am I going to do? Will I get admission? Will they consider a top class? Will they give me admission? And I keep saying it, having low grade does not necessarily mean anything. Does not mean you won't get admission. Does not mean you cannot even get scholarship. No. If you have a low grade, there are some reasons that brought about or necessitated that low grade that you had. So you explain that in your statement of purpose, and I'm telling you, you are on your way to getting your scholarship if you can put in a strong application. For me, I cannot say, oh, I want to do a PhD now, and and I will pay. No, I can't pay. I cannot pay, because if you are sure of yourself, if you are sure that, oh, you have some skills, some leadership skills, volunteering, and I think I'll still do another video on how to get scholarship and funding for our studies. So the second one, like I've said, I've spoken about getting your certificate. I remember even some people in Nigeria, they don't bother to get their certificate. I remember there was a time Adinro Ogunsoya College of Education announced then that there are about thousands, I can't remember, thousands of people who graduated without coming to collect their certificate. So let us do well to have our certificate, and also as you're applying for your certificate, apply for your transcript. It is very, very. I just cited an example. Now I have a friend of mine who also wanted to do his masters, but University of Ajoekiti, he's been battling with getting his transcript for like about 2 years now, but it's quite very, very difficult to get. So like I said earlier, once you get all those things, you are already showing yourself that yes, you are ready. You are moving towards achieving your goal. Transcript is very, very important. And when it gets to the stage of application, there are two types of transcript. Although it's still the same, but to the school you are applying to, they might tell you, oh, for the purpose of application, you will submit your unofficial transcript. What do you mean by unofficial transcript? Unofficial transcript is the one that the school gave to you. That's student copy. So if you use that one to apply to whatever school, they will accept it. But once they give you admission and you are about to start your course in that school, they will now request for official transcript. Official transcript is the one that your school, for instance, maybe somebody want to school in the US, and you use your unofficial transcript, that's the student copy that was given to you to apply for admission. So that school will now tell you that you should tell your school in Nigeria, for instance, maybe you graduated from Unilag, you send a mail to Unilag that you want Unilag to send your transcript to New York University in the US. So it will now be between your school in Nigeria and your school in the US. I hope we are getting what I'm saying. So it's just for the school in the US to know that, oh, that this transcript you submitted is not a fake one. They want to authenticate the authenticity of your transcript. That's why the two schools have to, link together and get that sorted out. And also, it's very important that if you want to do your PhD, or maybe somebody wants to do his or her master's, and you've done NCE, you've done undergraduate, so you have to provide transcript for the two, for your NCE and for your undergraduate. But for me, I would advise, instead of spending money to get it, you just don't mention that you have done NCE before, except if you think that NCE will, add value to the course you want to do or boost your admission, so you can, strive to get it sorted. Then number 3, as we get prepared, please, like I said earlier, if you can hear me, please type on the comment section that you can hear me, so that it will not be like I'm just talking to myself. I want that feedback. I want us to give me that feedback, so that it will be clear to me that we are hearing what I'm saying. Thank you. So the third one is what we call standardized test. Standardized test. What do we mean by standardized test? Standardized test means there are some tests that the school will require you to submit. There are some, maybe some departments, so to say, where maybe somebody wants to go and do an MBA now. Okay, thank you, Sister Titi. God bless you. She says she can hear me. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. So some people want to go and do MBA. So MBA, or maybe a business related, or maybe business management or global business or anything like that. So some of these departments will require you to submit a standardized test. What do you mean by standardized test? We have GMAT as one of the standardized tests. We have GRE as one of the standardized tests. Graduate management admission record. So those are some of the. Thank you, blessing. God bless you. So GMAT or GR, some school will require you to submit that. So this is optional. It is dependent on the type of course or program you are applying for. So some people, in order to avoid writing GMAT, writing GR, you just look for a course that will not require them to submit GMAT or any of those standardized tests. So that is optional. Like I said earlier, it is optional depending on the course you are going for. Then we also, maybe the number 4, letter of recommendation. Letter of recommendation. For you to apply for, you want to pursue a higher degree, you need letter of recommendation from your previous academic institution. For instance, from your previous undergraduate university where you did your BSc. So there is supposed to be a lecturer, most especially maybe somebody that supervises your project, is going to be provided a link to write a recommendation letter in support of your application. So it is very important. You must be able to get somebody in your school that will do that for you. And secondly, for people who are going for masters or PhD, they believe you must have been working, you must, professionally, you must be up there. So definitely you need a letter of recommendation from your employer, most especially your line manager, your supervisor should be able to recommend you, should be able to attest to your efficiency, should be able to say good things about you, that since Iwendi has been working with us, he has been so hardworking, he has been this, he has been that, and he has brought this, a lot of juicy things in order to spice up your application, and recommending you that you are going to be a good addition to the university environment, when you eventually join them. So Usually, some schools will say we need two letters of recommendation, one from your previous schools and the other from your employer. Some schools will say, oh, the two recommendations should be from your previous school that you have attended. So bear that in mind. It is also one of the things. So the reason why I'm bringing this is to prepare us to know where are we going to, and what are the things we need to prepare for us. So you have to start thinking, oh, who can do I even have somebody that can give me recommendation at work or in my university that I've attended? So we have to start thinking about, and if you don't have people like that, you have to maybe find a way around this. Maybe go to your school and talk to the exams and record department that you need recommendation letter in support of so and so they know how to go about it. They will help you sort that out. And number 5 is what we call SOP. SOP is what we call statement of purpose. Usually, let me say, virtually all graduate program requires student or candidate to write what we call statement of purpose. And what does this mean? Statement of purpose is just like you are writing a letter, a job application letter, telling the employer the reason why they should offer you the job. So the same way you are writing a statement of purpose, telling the admission officer the reason why they should admit you, the reason why they should give you admission. So that is very, very important in your statement of purpose. Like I said earlier, if they will consider you for any form of funding or scholarship or maybe discounts, your statement of purpose should be able to, speak to that. You must be able to craft your statement of purpose in a creative way in order to convince them that, oh, this person, we can't afford to lose him. We can't afford to lose her. This person is going to be an asset to us. So you must be able to tell your background, your story. Where are you coming from? What have you studied? What did you achieve when you were studying? Where have you worked? What are the impacts? Do you have any volunteering experience? And this is one area I think I'll still come back maybe sometimes later to talk about volunteering. Volunteering, most especially in Nigeria, we don't even know what volunteering means. It took me a long while before I knew what volunteering was. Although I've been volunteering before I even understood the impact of volunteering. Community service. What have you done to help people? What have you done in your community? What have you done in your church? What have you done in your mosque? What have you done in your school? Maybe you are a student representative. What were the things you did? While you were in the university, are you part of the student union? Did you even do anything that strive to help people? So those are things that you package together that will make up your statement of purpose. And also, your statement of purpose should be able to tell the admission officer, why do you want to study that course? For instance, somebody wants to study MBA, Masters of Business Administration, for instance. Why do you want to study MBA? Why do you want to go in for that? You must be able to convincingly, tell the admission officer the reason why you want to do. Maybe you are an entrepreneur in Nigeria, or you've been working with companies in Nigeria or wherever, and you want to add value to yourself. You believe that by having an MBA, it will help you, to get promotion at work. It will help you to be able to, double your salary, and it will also impact on your performance at work. So those are some of the things that you put into your SOP in order to be able to convince the admission officer. And also, they will ask in your SOP should be able to tell, why did you choose this school? For instance, somebody want to do his or her masters in Lagos State University. Why? There are many other schools in Nigeria. Somebody wants to study at New York University. Why? Why not University of California? Why not University of Florida? Why not, a lot. So you must be able to find reason why you have chosen that particular school, the reason why you have chosen that particular course. So what value did you see in that school that endeared you to that school? So those are the things that your SOP should speak to. And also, what are your career goals? Upon your graduation, what do you aim to achieve? So you must be able to tell, oh, in the next 2 to 2 to 5 years, I want to see myself in the managerial position in my organization. I want to see myself as a renowned business entrepreneur. I want to see myself, in depending on the nature of the course you are going for, you must be able to tell your story convincingly. You must be able to speak to your career goal in order to be able to, make them know that, oh, this guy, I think this guy is very, very smart. This guy is intelligent. We would like to have him. We would like to have him on our, because they know when you, as an international student, when you are in that school, you are a representative of their school when you go back to your country, for instance. So if you are able to tell your story convincingly, it will, help them to know that, oh, this person is going to be a good addition to the student body and the entire academic environment. And also, uh, the other thing I want to talk about, that you must be ready, the title of this session is requirement for graduate study. And generally, even if yours is not graduate study, definitely you should be able to, whatever study you are going for, either undergraduate, either graduate, either postgraduate, whatever, whichever, is still applicable. So you should be able to have your CV. There's what we call academic CV. Academic CV is different from professional CV. Are you getting me now? Professional CV is what you use to apply for job. But in this case, you are not applying for jobs. You are applying for studies, to go and study, at a higher institution. You must be able to have a CV, well drafted, outlining your previous education, your professional history. Do you have any areas of interest in terms of research, or what you like to do? Do you have any kind of volunteering in the past? You put it in your CV. Do you have any kind of award that you have won? You put it in your CV. Those are some of the things, but there is a way, there is a format, there is a way you put all these things down in order to convince the admission officer that yes, you are a good candidate and you are going to be able to represent the school very well. So it's very, very important to creatively write your CV in order to capture uh, everything that is supposed to capture. So the next one is for people who actually, who want to travel to other country. Maybe you are considering uh, going to another country, New Zealand, Australia, UK, for your program. You discover that some of these countries, maybe Canada, so to say, some of these countries, they want to show that, they want you to show that yes, you can actually speak English, you can actually understand English. So they want you to show proof of language proficiency. That is very, very important. Proof of language provision. In the US, we have what we call TOEFL. Is very, very common with the US, Canada, UK, and maybe some other countries. They are so much interested in what we call IELTS, which is an international English language testing system. So it is very important that you submit this. But for me, that is nothing to worry about. I'm just giving us all this as a background. They are just, the general requirement for us as Nigeria. They believe we are, an English speaking country, because so far you can tell that, oh, my primary school was done in English, secondary school, even my undergraduate, and the language you speak in our family is English. So you are good to go. Most schools in Canada, they will even waive English for you. You understand? Even UK don't even bother. They don't ask for English. If you are from Nigeria, if you are able to show your WAEC certificate, and they are able to verify. So that is just a general requirement, but it's not mandatory in some countries. But if you want to study in Nigeria, definitely it is not an option to consider. So let's go on. Then the next one is for people that are, in trade field. Maybe you are a tailor, you are a bricklayer, you are a carpenter, all those handwork or stuff. maybe you are a painter. So there's what we call a portfolio. Portfolio means is a kind of compendium that where you put all your previous work, all the work that you have done. We call it portfolio. Maybe you are maybe you are a hairdresser, so you have to put your work all together that you show to the admission officer. Oh, see my work, these are the things I've done, these are the things I'm capable of doing. Maybe you are a bricklayer, all those things you put them together. You are a painter, you put them together, in a particular compendium, and you send to them. They will review it. Then when they see it, they say, "Oh, this guy is good. Even without a formal education, he's already this, he's doing this, he's doing that," and we will be happy to have him. Uh, happy to have him join uh, our cohort. So, in fact, people like that, they usually give them funding because they know that you are going to be a good addition to that team. You are going to be a good addition to the academic environment, so to say. So, it is usually good that you have your portfolio in place. And also for people that are going for maybe masters, or PhD, if you are going for masters, there are some masters. We have the third master, which is course by course masters, and we have what we call research-based masters. Or generally, if you are going for PhD, you need what we call research proposal. And what does this mean? Research proposal means you are writing what you want to do. What is the problem you want to investigate during your course of study? During your course of study, what are the areas you want to concentrate on? For instance, maybe you are in education line and you want to study the impact of Boko Haram in Nigeria, so you have to tell the school or the admission officer or your professor or your supervisor, what are the problems that Nigerians are facing concerning Boko Haram. You have to, tell them this is the area you want to look at and the reason why you want to look at this area and how do you want to go about it. Systematically, there is a way we write proposal. So you put that down, but it's not general. Like I said, it is only for people that are going for PhD or you are going for a research-based masters. Those are the people that are required to submit a research proposal when you are applying for studies, most especially if you think, oh, you want to advance and you want to go abroad to do stuff like that. And that is that about that. Then it is also very important. There is what we call application fee. Some schools will tell you that for you to apply to my school, you have to pay a certain amount of money. This certain amount of money is what we call application fee. You must get that ready. Don't forget, I said the title of this video is going to be requirements for graduate study. And for every other person, even if it is not graduate study, you want to go to polytechnic, you want to go to college, definitely the video is still going to be useful for you. You need to pay application fee, but I have good news for you. It is not applicable in all situations. I belong to a group of students in the US who share their experience every day, saying, "Oh, I got application fee waiver. This school is not, collecting application fee," and the same thing is applicable to, some other countries, most even Canada. UK. UK doesn't even collect application fee. If you want to study in the UK, they don't collect application fee. It is free. You can apply to as many schools as possible without paying a dime. And also, I think some schools in Canada also, they don't. Some schools, or let me say some departments, so to say, not some schools. Canada, they like money. Some departments, they will tell you our application fee is so and so. So I'm telling us all this in order for us to get, keep ourselves abreast of what are the requirements. What do I even need before we put our legs into the water? Some people will have even started, the process. Not until when they now begin to encounter some difficulties, some issues, they say, no, I never knew I was going to pay application fee. No, I never knew I was going to write statement of purpose. I cannot write, or I don't sabi write. Which kind of wahala be this? So that is the reason why I'm bringing this information to us so that we get to know what we are getting ourselves into. If it is something that you are considering, that you think you want to do, and like the Englishman will say, that anything that is worth doing well at all that is worth doing at all is worth doing well. So I will advise you to start thinking about how to get all these documents ready. So once that is sorted, then you can now be thinking of, oh, which school will I apply to? Which school do I apply to? That is when you now begin to make your research. Okay, the course that I want to study, you go on Google, you type, so school. Maybe you want to go for business analytics. You type on the website which schools offer business analytics in Nigeria, in Ghana, in New Zealand, in UK, or whichever country you so desire. You type and you see the list of schools that offer that kind of course that you want to go for. So you begin to make inquiries. You begin to read the website, the course page. What do they need apart from all these things that I've listed? Apart from all this, I remember I said it earlier before when we started the video that there are some other departments that may tell you, oh, apart from the general requirement, there are what we call specific requirements. And part of the specific requirement I've even mentioned is like the standardized tech, like writing GMAT, writing GRE, or submitting a portfolio. Some will even tell you that you need to look for a supervisor in that school. For instance, you want to apply to a school in Canada, for instance, and when you look at the program page, they say, oh, you must secure a supervisor before you are able to apply. So it is that supervisor that will say, oh, I like you and I will supervise you. So once you have that, you can now proceed to apply, because there is going to be a place that, have you secured a supervisor for this program? You say yes, then you now put the name of the supervisor. In fact, in most cases, supervisors are very, very helpful. They will help you in getting funding, to finance your education. Your own is just to go to class, do your studies, and you are rest. But what I said earlier is, it is very, very important that you should be ready to put in the work. You must be very, very hardworking, and I know Nigerians are hardworking. People in Africa were hardworking, but when it comes to your advanced studies, you still need that extra level of hard work. You need to add a bite to it. You need to be intentional. You need to be strategic. Some people have been on this for ages, but because they lack the right type of information, it becomes difficult. Though we look at the finances, oh yes, but the truth of the matter is, where there is a will, there is always a way. If you are intentional and strategic about it, and you put everything before God, or God, in 2025, I did a video about setting your goal, sometimes maybe last week. In 2024, this is what I want to do, and you see, you start working towards it. And very, very importantly, one other thing that is very important for you to get is, get a mentor. Get mentorship. When you have somebody that will mentor you, somebody that you can always run to for advice, for information, that will give you undiluted advice, it is very, very important that you get this kind of people. It is this person that will be advising you, that when you have an issue, you can easily, oh, bros, abeg, this is the issue I have. How can I go about it? And the person will be able to put you through. It is very, very important. If there's anybody who has any question, please drop your question in the comment section. Before we round off, I'll be able to answer them. And even if after the session you can drop your question, and I'm more than available, I'm more than happy to answer the question. So finally, one other thing that is very important for you to get acquainted with is, if you are planning to study outside the shores of Nigeria, don't forget that you need to secure your study permit. Yes, you are going to study wherever. study permit is one other thing that you need to get. That is visa application. But it is said that when we get to the bridge, we will cross it. So the first thing is you getting your document to apply for your studies, you getting your admission sorted, then you can now be thinking of applying for a study permit that allows you to go and study wherever you so desire. So it is very important that you know all these things so that you know, say, oh, now that I've gotten admission, I've even paid for the application fee and they've given me admission. So I'm still going to apply for visa. So I'm still going to, uh, uh, get a study permit, and all these things you need, to plan ahead towards them. You need to plan, getting those things sorted. So that is very, very important. You need a lot of documents, you need a lot of information, you need a lot of you need people to advise you, you need support, from people in order to scale through in this journey. So that is the information I have for us this merry afternoon. Like I said, if anybody have any question, please drop your question. I'll be waiting for some minutes in order to attend to whatever question. Please, no question is stupid, no question is bad. Just drop your question, and I'm more than happy to answer your question. And mind you, I want to say this: I'm never an immigration officer, so please don't let anybody scam you. Anyone requesting for money saying, I'm Iweniyi, please, I'm not Iweniyi fraudster. I beg. I'm only, putting the information I have out there to help people. And I know Africa is going through a lot these days. Nigeria specifically is going through a lot these days. And I understand that so many people actually wanted to add value to themselves. So many people actually have been planning, oh, what can I do as a youth? What can I do to prepare myself, to, advance myself, and they don't have access to information. So that is just what I'm trying to do. I'm not here to ask for money from anybody saying I'm going to process this or that for you. So please don't let anybody private chat you saying somebody is asking for this and this and this. Please, I'm begging you. I'm not an immigration officer. I'm just like you, a concerned Nigerian who is concerned about, other people. And like I tell you, this is my own way of volunteering. This is a volunteering program that I'm doing. So it's very important. Yeah, I have a question from Wuraola Titi Lope. Do we need all the mentioned documents first before processing passport? Yeah, maybe I should say I should have started with passport processing, but I know that if you are, if you intend, studying outside Nigeria, definitely passport is very, very important. Your international passport, it is very, 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 in fact, very important. And I mentioned transcript earlier. That is very difficult to get transcript in Nigeria. The same way it is difficult to get passport, as in international passport. It is very, very difficult. So if you are thinking, oh, I don't want to do my master's in Nigeria, I think I want to go and do it outside Nigeria, any country. So please start the process of your international passport if you don't have one before. In fact, there are some schools, before you even start your application, they will ask you, once they know that you are an international student, they will ask you, do you have your passport? Then give us your passport number. So it is very crucial. Thank you, Sister Titi Lope, for that question. It is very, very important. So if you don't have one, please begin the process of getting your international passport. It's very, very important. Very, very important. The same way as other documents, so that it will not be, oh, I've gotten my admission and now it's time for me to process my study permit or whatever, but I don't have international passport. So I think now is the best time for you to start doing that. And I think with the new Minister of Interior, the last time I heard him spoke on the channels, I think it's easier now. I think it's easier now for people in Nigeria to get that done. So please begin the process so that as you are processing other documents, you'll be able to, like, marry everything together, process everything at the same time, and lines will begin to fall in places for you. Yeah. Any other question before we call it a day? Probably tomorrow I might be coming back online to discuss one other thing that is very, very important. That is very important, very, very important. Some people, when it comes to application, they just apply for any course, any program, without maybe, oh, I study education management in my undergraduate, so I want to study masters in education or whatever. And in contemporary society, there are what we call in-demand skills. There are what we call in-demand skills. Is education management in demand in our society today? When you graduate, which work can you even get with that will be able to give you return on investment, that will be able to give you return on your study, how much you have spent? So I'll be coming to speak on that, to tell us what are some of the programs that we should be looking forward to applying for. What are some of the courses that are really, really hot key, that when you graduate with that course, you have your certificate in that course, you are sure that when you get a job with that, you will blow. Yes, when you get a job, at least you are sorted. Employers will be looking. Some people will say, oh, I graduate, after my graduation I couldn't find a job. Yes, it will become difficult to find a job. It's because the course you are holding, the certificate you are holding, people no longer crave for it. People are not looking for it. And for people, maybe I'm sorry for using education. I also did education in my undergraduate, so that's why I'm using education. And for people in that line, the best thing we can do is just to be a teacher. And how much does a teacher earn in Nigeria of today? And the salary, can that salary even cater to what we our needs? Not to even talk of sending our children to good schools and stuff like that. So I'm coming back. I just pray I will be able to have time, that tomorrow, the Christmas day, I believe everybody should be at home. So I think I should be able to come back to do a video on that, in order to enlighten us. And if I can't do it, please just watch out on my Facebook page. You see the update, and we'll continue from there. And if you want to have access to information, you want to know when we are going to be doing videos, on when one program is going to come up, please join the WhatsApp group that we have created in order to keep us together as a group. On that WhatsApp group, anytime there is going to be any program or any event, we share there. And if you have any question, you can easily drop on the WhatsApp group. We share ideas together, then it will help everybody on that group. So please do well. If you want to join that WhatsApp, just maybe on the description box of this video, I will drop the link there, so that we can all join. Thank you very much. I'm wishing everyone, if there's no any other question, please, I'm wishing everybody Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. I believe 2024 is going to be that year that we have been waiting for. Just be intentional, be strategic, and we will all win. Thank you.